I'd like to welcome you all to this evening's class. I believe we are going to cover a very, very interesting subject, which is about exploring our cosmic connection. How is each one of us connected to the cosmos? What roles do the stars play and celestial bodies play in our lives? What is the basis of astrology? Is the universe as distant from us as we think? So today we'll explore these fascinating questions and share techniques of meditation to help us access our cosmic connection. So just relax, stay tuned, and let's go on this fun journey together. Thank you. Today's topic is our cosmic faculty. And we're going to talk about what is the relationship between each one of us and the cosmos, the celestial bodies we see around us, the universe. Is there a relationship? If so, what is that relationship? And finally, how do we use meditation to engage with our cosmic connections? Now, the word cosmos is understood in so many different ways. So from the mysterious skies to what the scriptures call the firmaments, and some say it's the universes, and beyond, what is the cosmos? The cosmos is a level that far surpasses any imagination, and its comprehension of the human mind is limited, but it's so vast that it is really worthy of trying to understand what is the linkage that we have with the cosmos. Now, what would my definition of the cosmos be? In simple terms, the cosmos is a level that transcends time, space, matter, and the human consciousness, whilst leaving ample evidence of its existence. So the cosmos is a level that transcends time, that goes beyond time, that goes beyond space, that goes beyond matter, that goes beyond human comprehension, whilst always leaving ample evidence of its existence. And we're going to look at that evidence of its existence. Therefore, the cosmos can be a place beyond our imagination, or it can just be open space, and the space can be with nothing, or it can encompass all the celestial bodies that we can see, as well as the ones that exist beyond our vision. So the cosmos can be characterized by vastness, infinity, mystery, intrigue, fascination, whatever word you choose. And it's a level that so many of us would love to engage with. And not just out of pure curiosity, but we have a deep hunger within us that comes out to learn more. Why does that hunger exist? Let us start with an understanding that everything that resides within us is projected outside of us. So imagine what happens when you stand in front of a mirror. So you're standing in front of the mirror. What do you see? You see a reflection of yourself. Agreed? So a mirror shows us an image of ourselves. Now let us consider that your physical body is like a mirror. In fact, let us assume that your body is the mirror. Both your eyes reside in this mirror. So just take a moment, think about it. Your body is a mirror and your eyes are in the mirror. Now, let us explore what you see from the mirror. So the real you, the spiritual being, stands before this mirror, which your eyes cannot see. And the reflection of your spiritual being, or the real you, is also present in the mirror, which you can also not see. Why can't you see your spiritual being? It is because your spiritual being is invisible to the human eye. And likewise, the image or the reflection of your spiritual being is also invisible to this human eye. Are we in agreement so far? We cannot see our spiritual being, nor can we see its reflection in the mirror. Now, my dear friends, that reflection of your spiritual being from the mirror is the cosmos. Think of the cosmos as a reflection of the real you, your real inner self, outside of you, which can be seen outside of you. Now, this is where things start to get more interesting. Because while we cannot see our spiritual being, we can see parts of the cosmos, albeit very little, but we can see. It does give us evidence of its existence. So, how can we interpret the stars, the planets, the cosmic bodies, which we can all see from this perspective? Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you're wearing beige pants and a red shirt, and you're standing in front of a mirror. What colors does the mirror show you apart from your own self? Beige and red. So these two colors are real in front of the mirror in its reflection. Similarly, the cosmos that you see in the skies on a starry night is like the red shirt and the beige pants. It is real in terms of the colors. And since you're wearing this shirt and pants on your body, it is connected to you. So is the cosmos. It is connected to the real you. It is connected to your spiritual being. Now, this is a very subtle distinction between your inner self, which you know exists, and its outward reflection in the cosmos, which you also know exists. Both are not visible to your eyes in entirety, except, thank God, that the cosmos does give you the gift of some signs that are visible to your human eye, and you see them in the sky. And therefore, the cosmos holds the key to helping you discover your inner self, because they are all connected. Now, the good news is that, unlike the invisible inner self, the cosmos lets you see a part of itself. And each one of us is integrally connected to the cosmos, but we don't realize it. And the cosmos is showing you the red and beige clothes you're wearing in front of that mirror. It is showing them to you through visible cosmic bodies, and this makes them truly worth exploring and experiencing, and this is why we feel that hunger. So when you look at the skies at night, you want to know more. You are intrigued. You are fascinated by this dimension of yourself. Now let us examine the cosmos a little deeper from the perspective that it is a reflection of your spiritual being. Okay, so number one, you are life. Therefore, the cosmos is life. And you will find life in the planets and other galaxies in the cosmos, because the cosmos is life like you. So because you are life, the cosmos embodies life, because it's a reflection of you. You are intelligence, and hence the cosmos is also intelligent. Intelligent life resides in you, and intelligence life resides in the cosmos as well. Number three, you are thought. You embody the powers of thought. Therefore, the cosmos is also home to that power of thought. This means that thought lives everywhere in the cosmos, which also means your thought is present in the cosmos. And your thought travels through the cosmos. Did you ever consider that? It's quite a realization that when you think, your thought lives in the cosmos. This is why I always say, think about what you think. We are all defined by the quality of our thoughts. And it is because our thoughts continue to live in the cosmos. The fourth is that your journey in this world and all the 7 worlds is charted by your karmic compass. Therefore, your karmic compass is also present in the cosmos. This is where astrology begins to start to make sense, because your karmic compass that you are living is reflected in the cosmos through the celestial bodies, the planets, the stars, and astrology starts to come to play here. So the stars and the cosmic bodies, they reflect your journey as laid out in the karmic compass. And skilled astrologers experienced astrologers can look at your connection with these celestial bodies and tell you about yourself, your makeup, your journey, and more. For most of us, we can easily see the connection between the three celestial bodies closest to us, which is the earth, the sun, and the moon. When we clearly see how the moon affects our gravitational pull on this earth, look at the tides at full moon. Look at how people's moods and thoughts are affected by the moon. The point is, we see some direct evidence from these three celestial bodies that we know, but there's a much bigger picture beyond that, awaiting to be recognized with the celestial bodies we don't know yet. In my first book, I wrote about the fact that the stars are not just specks of light in the sky. They are aspects of knowledge. And this thinking is also reflected in so many scriptures. Now, what is an aspect of knowledge? It's a complicated word, right? But it's not that complicated. You see, each one of us is on a journey of gaining knowledge, as we have talked about in all our previous classes. So, we have learned that the origin or the creator is light. Light brings life. Life brings experience. Experience brings knowledge. And knowledge is light. And this is the full circle. Origin is light. Light brings life. Life brings experience. Experience brings knowledge. And knowledge is light. So our souls are constantly gaining knowledge. We are growing through knowledge. And this knowledge comes from what perspective? This knowledge is an assimilation of all the infinite dimensions of intelligence that come together to form light. That's how knowledge is light. And that's how you as a soul shine brighter and brighter and brighter, until at one point you cannot tell the soul apart from its creator. That's where you've reached your completion. Now, if you think about the events, the experiences, the thoughts, emotions, all the elements of gaining knowledge, they are so diverse. Each element of this diversity is an aspect of knowledge. So as we grow in knowledge, all the aspects of knowledge in our material plane and non-material dimensions come together to complete us and to complete our knowledge, to perfect our knowledge in the material and non-material level and make that knowledge light. Now let's look at some simple examples to understand aspects of knowledge. I'm going to share two examples with you. Firstly, let's go into an art class where there's a 40-year-old teacher called Susanna who's trying to explain aspects of knowledge to a group of 20 16-year-old students who are mathematics, chemistry, and physics specialists. Now, teaching art to scientists can be tough on a good day. So let's hear how she approaches it, because she wants to teach them what aspects of knowledge is. So she brings out a big, fresh, healthy-looking pineapple from her bag. And she places it on the desk and says to the class, "What do you see?" They all reply, "It's a pineapple." So she asks, "How many aspects does this pineapple have?" Some said 3, some said 5, some said 10. She keeps shaking her head and saying, "Higher, higher, higher." They keep going higher until they all settle on the number 500. 500 aspects to one pineapple. How did such a large number come about? So let us look at this pineapple. And Susanna says, take a close look at its skin. Now, we've all seen pineapples. Take a close look at its skin. What shapes do you see in the skin? So there are 20 people in her class, and some said, "Oh, it's a hexagon." Others said, "Oh, it's circular." One says, "Oh, well, it looks to me like a bit of an octagon." 20 of them give 20 different answers just of the shape of the skin of the pineapple. Then she says, well, look inside the shape, inside the hexagons or octagons or circles, there are smaller shapes. What are those? So all 20 give her a different answer. So already just from the shapes and that inner shape, we have 40 aspects, 40 perspectives. Then she asks about the color. Some say green, others say brownish green, some say gray, some say deep magenta with green. So there are 20 more answers on the color of the pineapple, its skin. So now we are at 60 aspects. Then she asks about the shape of the leaves and gets 20 more answers, perspectives. Then the color of the leaves, and she wants precise answers. So everyone answers with their own perspective. So another 20 more aspects. So we are already at 100 aspects and we haven't even cut the pineapple. Then she peels off the skin, cuts out the head with the leaves, leaving behind a nice, round, juicy looking fruit. How many colors do you see in the peeled pineapple, she asks. Again, everyone has a different perspective. Some say beige, all the way to yellow. 20 more aspects. Then she says, what is the shape of the eyes that the skin leaves behind on this pineapple? So again, 20 more answers. So we are at 140 aspects already, and it's still the same pineapple. Then she asks about the aroma. So you get 20 different aspects. Then she cuts the pineapple in round slices and asks about the shape of the core. Again, 20 answers. Some say circular, some say, oh, it's octagonal, some it's decagonal. 20 answers. Then she looks at the shape of the lines in the pulp and says, what do these shapes show you? 20 different answers. Then she asks them to taste the pineapple. 20 different answers. Everybody perceives taste differently. Then she asks about the texture of the pulp when you're tasting it. 20 other answers. By now, we already have 260 aspects, and we are not yet done. Because things like taste have more dimensions, as does aroma, like sweet and sharp, sour and sharp, acidic, salty, bitter, more. So before you know it, the classroom has put together many hundreds of aspects of one pineapple, and they stop at 500. Thus, the pineapple in this classroom has 500 aspects that make up the knowledge of one pineapple in a classroom of 20 people. How many pineapples are there in the world? How many fruits are there in the world? How many people? How many different material creations exist out there? Soon you will cross into trillions of aspects. And to that, you add the events and the experiences as we gain knowledge. Soon the number of aspects can reach infinite. Where can you fit all these aspects of knowledge in our world? In a very, very large space, in infinite space. That's the cosmos. Each one of us embodies countless aspects of knowledge because we are beings who are here in pursuit of knowledge. So each one of us embodies countless aspects of knowledge within ourselves. And these aspects are reflected outside of us in the cosmos. And the stars and the celestial bodies out there are aspects of our knowledge in this material world. And that's why we can see them, some of them, albeit very few, but we can see them. This is why the universe appears massive and endless to us. And the specks of light that we see in the universe are connected to each one of us through our karmic compass and knowledge. Remember, knowledge is light. That's why we see them in the sky as aspects or specks of light. So, having heard this, how far away do you think the universe is from us? In this case, not far at all. The universe is a natural extension of us. Now, here's a quote from my book, which says and this is my first book, that the stars are not just balls of fire in the sky, they are aspects of knowledge. Now let's look at aspects of knowledge from the viewpoint of the brain, which has a lot more to it than the single pineapple. And since it's such an important thing that we understand, let's consider the brain and its aspects of knowledge so you can visualize where this is going. So let us consider that each brain in itself is like a universe. It has so many cells, neurons, dendrons. All of you experts in biology will remember all this from school days. And all of the features through which intelligence flows in the brain. Now, a synapse is a small pocket of space between two cells of the brain. These cells are next to each other, but they're not touching. So the synapse is that bridge through which intelligence or information flows from cell to cell. Each neuron in the brain has thousands of synapses, and the brain has thousands of neurons. So now let us think that each synapse is an aspect of knowledge in the brain. Each neuron in the brain with its thousands of synapses, as soon as you start looking at that, we have countless aspects of knowledge. Now let's say we put a small light bulb on each synapse between two cells. Soon your brain is lit up like the brightest Christmas tree. So having realized that the brain has a lot more aspects of knowledge than the pineapple, for example, it's lit up like the brightest Christmas tree because there's thousands and thousands of them. So we can now appreciate that if each one of us projects our aspects of knowledge into the universe, into the cosmos, we can start to see how vast the cosmos is or can become very quickly. And each star out there, that speck of light, can be just like the synapse in your brain, that little bulb we put in the synapse. So I hope this gives us a little more clarity. We took 500 aspects of knowledge of one pineapple and then we went to infinite in the brain. We lit it up like a Christmas tree. So now you can appreciate how aspects of knowledge connect us to the stars and all the celestial bodies. They are an integral part of us. And this brings us to the next question. How far away from the stars is our real self or higher self? They are as close to us as our brain, as our thought, our knowledge, our karmic compass. They are closer to us than all that, closer to us than we can ever imagine. They reside within us, and they are projections of the universe outside of us. Now, astrologers decode this connection between us and the aspects of knowledge through patterns. They read patterns, not absolute aspects of knowledge. So, if one neuron has 1,000 synapses, therefore 1,000 light bulbs, the astrologer will read the neuron, the pattern of the neuron. They can tell you from reading the pattern about your karmic compass, for example, about your journey, about your compatibility with so many things and lack of compatibility with others, because these patterns they are able to read it effectively. But they cannot tell you about each aspect of knowledge because they are infinite. So think how wonderful a being you are. The universe out there is a reflection of you. What does that make you? A truly empowered being, a very special being. So congratulations, my dear friends. You have figured out how vast you really are. So vast that this little body of yours could never ever contain you, the real you. Now, through meditation, you can recognize who and what you are. You can recognize the stars and the cosmos and the aspects of knowledge that they project, which reside within you. And today we're going to learn about this meditation. And with meditation, you can not only see and read the patterns in the cosmos, like the astrologers do, you can come to know each and every aspect of knowledge, because meditation places you there in the heart of the cosmos, and I'll teach you how to get there. So as you learn and get to know the cosmos, you get to know yourself. You get to know your higher self, because sometimes you look at the reflection to know what is standing in front of the mirror. This is a smart thing. And the next time you look up in the sky, go out tonight and look at that dark sky with all the stars up there. Know that it is a reflection of you. It is there because of you, because you exist. If you didn't exist, neither would the universe. This is why we are all eternal beings with no beginning and no end. And all souls, wherever they manifest, in whatever form, in whichever part of the universe is, collectively they make up the universe. For me, when I look at the universe, I see unity. I see unity of myself and unity with all creation, here and out there. This unity is oneness. It's my oneness. It's your oneness. It's our oneness. So when we look out in the sky and look at the universe and know that it's a reflection of us, we realize we are oneness, complete and pure oneness. Now, I can keep talking about the cosmos forever, but let me tie down today's class with two more interesting points. We covered the first four connections between us and the cosmos, and then there's a fifth one. And many years ago, I wrote about the book of the Alakansara. The Alakansara are a civilization. These were beings of peace and neutrality and equilibrium that came to the earth after the Mahabharata era. And in the Mahabharata era, you had this great conflict between good and evil, and the forces of good prevailed, but the earth was damaged, was shattered. And these beings came to heal the planet, to pave the way to future generations to come. And I was inspired with their knowledge, because they were such special beings with such great powers and such deep knowledge, scientific, spiritual, natural, cosmic. And I had the opportunity to just write down whatever was coming to me about them. And one of the things I learned was their cosmic calendar, which was fascinating. I also learned from their knowledge about numbers, numerology, how it impacts our lives, and we'll cover that in a future class. But today, let me share a little bit about the cosmic calendar, because we are talking about our cosmic connection. And let's see how this cosmic calendar impacts where we are today as a civilization. So since the Alakansarans came after the Mahabharata era, they are the ancestors of the Mayans, because they traveled further south. They are the ancestors of the Aztecs when they went north. They are people of the First Nations, their ancestors, the Egyptians. All the advanced civilizations that came after the Mahabharata era, their ancestors were the Alakansara. Therefore, there's some common denominator. And if you read about the scrolls and writings from these different civilizations, when it comes to cosmic calendar, you will see it appears in many places, Mayans in particular. Now, in our world, calendars are recorded by time, which is only valid in the material plane. Once we leave the material plane, time ceases to exist as we know it. Our calendar also relies on only three celestial bodies: the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun, which make up our calendar. And it makes it quite limited and confines us to the material plane, to the material world. The Alakansarans followed the cosmic calendar where 101 celestial bodies align and come together with the earth. They're all aligned. And they recorded that alignment as a cosmic cycle. So when all these 101 cosmic bodies were aligned, including the earth, that was one cosmic cycle. And these cosmic cycles do not repeat themselves with fixed intervals of time as we know it, because these celestial bodies are fluid, they flow. So it's not to say that if one cosmic cycle is 1,000 years, it'll come back after 1,000 years. It may come back after 200 years, may come back after 2,000 years. We don't measure it with earthly time. But when that alignment occurs, a lot of things happen, including on the earth. And each time this alignment comes about, major energetic changes occur in our earth, which impact the climate, nature, the genetic codes of all living organisms, and more. New codes are created. New forms of life are created as a result. Have you noticed that if you think back some time, you meet some people, you meet so many different people, and then a short time passes by and a lot of them are great. And you ask yourself, what happened? That's the shift of the cosmic cycle. It also impacts our genetic code. And so it impacts our body. And we are seeing, if we look today, we are right now in the transition between the end of one cosmic cycle and the next one. And because it impacts our genetic code today, in these last few months, we're seeing far more deaths from cancer than ever before. I know that we as a family lost 6 close friends and family members in the past 4 months, 4 of them to cancer. So it's unprecedented for us as a family. And I'm talking about this transitionary period from one cosmic cycle to the other. And as we are in this transition, we see forest fires, we see climate change, we see COVID, redefinition we see of our way of life as a civilization. We see complete confusion in our leaders, their visions, their deviation from truth to falsities. It's a bizarre time to be alive in this world. And it is all precipitated so fast in the last 10 to 15 years. That's the transitionary cycle. Cast your mind back 10 to 15 years, and I cannot be exact on time, might be plus a bit, minus a bit. But look at how much has changed. And then as we are coming to the tail end of that shift, the change is very rapid. Look at the last 1 year. So this is the period where we are at the end of one cosmic cycle and commencement of a new one. And as I said earlier, each cosmic cycle does not follow the same amount of time as we know time. Now, this is one more point to recognize. As a world, we are linked to the cosmos and to cosmic cycles. So apart from the fact that they impact our genes, the cosmic cycles, they impact nature, they impact our thoughts, they impact our consciousness, because we are all integrally connected with the cosmos. So many scriptures talk about yugas and eras. And these are not defined by time, but rather they're defined by changes in events in the events in our world, changes in the human psyche. Look at the Bhagavad Gita, look at a lot of other scriptures that talk about different eras. This is the cosmic calendar I'm talking about. Now, this change of the cosmic cycle also opens immense spiritual opportunities for advancement and growth. So this shift in the cosmic cycle also empowers us to help shape the direction of the new cosmic cycle through the purity of our essence and power of thought. So we are living in a very unique time. This is also why so many of us come together every Saturday in these most unusual times, giving up our schedules to meditate for the benefit of others, to acquire new knowledge, to grow and shine. Such a precious period, spiritual period of opportunity, won't come again for a very, very long time. It will be at the next cosmic cycle. So we are all very fortunate to be living in these times with a healthy union between the spiritual and the material. I'm not saying balance, I'm saying a healthy union, because there's a difference between balance and union. One flows into the other all the time. We are looking at oneness even in our most conscious moments in the material world. Therefore, it's a union between spiritual and material. And it's a sign of the time we are in the transition to the next cosmic cycle. And from this, we will all emerge more and more enlightened in this period. And we will bring many of our friends, family, loved ones, and other souls with us on this path of knowledge and light as we grow. Because our thoughts influence the thoughts of everyone else. Our vision touches them. Our goodwill, our positive energy reaches them. Our prayers and meditation for change reaches everybody. So we will be emerging from this very beautiful period. At one level, it's not so beautiful in the material world, but spiritually, it's a time of opportunity. And we are all trying to make the most of this time. Now let us come to the last point of today's class, because this is another milestone of realization for all of us, especially from the viewpoint of meditation. We all understand that the cosmos is an outward projection of our inner self, our spiritual being. Now, what is the cosmos largely comprised of? Space, nothingness, absolute nothingness. So where in our being can we find nothingness? Anywhere you look in our body, there is some form of matter, wherever you look. So where can we find nothingness within us in very large, in very vast ranges? From our very first masterclass, I talked to you about our higher self being completely still, like the core of the cyclone. Now, we all live our material lives spinning around this cyclone. But our real self resides in the still core, the center of the cyclone, which is completely still. And the center of the cyclone is made up of nothingness. It is that powerful space of nothingness that drives everything. And the reason it is totally still is because matter, if it were present, always moves. So where there is no matter, there is no particles, there is no time, there is no movement. It's completely still. And this can only exist in nothingness. Hence, the core of the cyclone is pure stillness and nothingness. And this is where our true spiritual consciousness can be found. Now, life energy that flows through you, through me, through every plant, through every bird, through every creation, is also of that same shape as the cyclone. It is completely still in the center. It's called a vortex, and I'll show you a diagram of one of it. And this space in the center is total stillness. When you think about thought also, like life, has life. And it has the same shape of the cyclone, the vortex. And it's like a cyclone. But its core, the center core of your thought, the real power of your thought, is completely still with nothingness. Now, what is the beauty? Why is life energy or thought, or the life of thought, this shape? Because if you go down, you can see the circles getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, all the way down to the infinitely small where you can't see them anymore. So it goes into nothingness at the smallest level. And as you go up this vortex, this shape goes to larger, and this circle can open up through all the universes and never end. So even at the top end of the vortex, it goes to nothingness. But the center, the core, is constant. And it is completely still. And this is nothingness. All action and movement occurs outside. This is the center core. This is pure nothingness. And I'd like to thank our team members for putting this together. And after today's meditation, I'm going to come back to this And we're going to revisit this one more time from the basis of what you learned in the meditation. So, the most powerful aspects of your being reside in that stillness, in that nothingness. And this is why the cosmos, the universe, shows us endless, vast, infinite open space of nothingness. Because remember, it is a projection of you. What are you? What am I? We are thought. Because after we pass on and our bodies disappear in the ground or in the crematorium or in the river as ashes, what we leave behind? Memories, which is thought. So we are all made up of life force and thought. That's all we are. And hence, majority of us and make us up with nothingness. Hence, the universe also is a vast space of nothingness. Now let's work with that, because it serves as a great reminder for each one of us as to where we need to focus, where we need to look when we are seeking our Creator. So we move to a very interesting dimension of meditation. Because our Creator is present everywhere, but can be perceived in pure clarity through meditation in nothingness, which is the most powerful level of our thought. In nothingness, our third eye will open, showing us everything. It will not open where there is chaos and movement, but in pure stillness and nothingness, the third eye opens. And we all need to reach that point of nothingness, of zero thought, where we can sit back in peace and await the blessing of lifting of the veil of ignorance before us, showing us everything that we seek through the opening of our third eye. I've talked about the third eye many times. I talked about the third eye from the parable of the light in many of the classes when we talked of the 10 sages of the soul. Now we are coming to the crux. But now you are prepared, having practiced meditation from class 1 and learned the whole process in stages. Today you are ready to venture into nothingness. And when each one of us can reach nothingness in meditation, and when we reach there, we make ourselves present for the time when the grace of the Creator may come upon us. We don't control that part, but we can all try to get there and await our blessing, to go into that zero level. Let's learn how to do that. So we go into nothingness through meditation. We open ourselves to discovering everything. And by the grace of the origin, the Creator, when our time comes, when that opportunity comes, that third eye opens, you realize yourself, you realize your soul, you realize your superconscious mind, and you realize your Creator. And this is our ultimate goal. We have all the tools. We have our life energy itself, which I showed you the diagram of, whose core is nothingness. We have our thought, whose core is nothingness. And our true spiritual self, our Creator, is present in complete clarity in that powerful space of nothingness, of pure stillness, where our third eye can open with His grace. And this is why meditation uses thought to take us into that space of zero, of nothingness. And it is the zero level. And at the zero level, our thought also reaches zero. So we are in a state of zero thought. So many great teachers of meditation talk about going to zero thought, because this is where the third eye opens. This is where what you are seeking can be seen with utmost clarity. So now we as a group are going to learn about meditation at this next level, where we seek to enter the absolute zero space, the nothingness, where we can, in complete humility, pursue the goal we seek of finding our Creator, our source, our origin. So, let the skies and the cosmos and the universes always remind you when you look up in the night. Let them remind you where to look for your Creator, in pure, absolute nothingness. One of my favorite verses from the scriptures describes what I've just shared with you in a very simple yet profound manner. And let me share it with you before we start the meditation. This scripture says, and many scriptures say this, the Creator is one. So there is only one source. And all creation comes from this one source. And we live in the being of our Creator. So the Creator is one, pure oneness, pure unity. Then the scripture says He is absolute, the origin. Absolute is the number zero. The origin in mathematics is zero. All numbers come from zero. They come from nothingness, because zero is nothingness. And because nothingness exists, mathematics exists. All numbers come from zero. Then the scripture says, He has no beginning and no end, which makes Him ever continuous. Again, all matter as we know it has a beginning and an end in the world as we know it. In nothingness, there is no matter, there is no time. Hence, there is no beginning and no end. Just constancy, continuity, stillness, and timelessness. And finally, the scripture says, and He is beyond all imagination or comparison. You can always imagine something where matter or time exists because you're familiar with it. You cannot imagine nothingness because there is no matter or no time present. There is nothing there to imagine. So this very powerful verse from the scriptures sums up beautifully the notion that to seek for our Creator with clarity, we must go to the zero level into nothingness. Now, this verse of the scriptures has also got so many other meanings, which we can discuss at a future occasion, because these verses have been my favorite verses for many, 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 many years. And every time I realize a meaning, I go digging deeper. I've shared with you the meditative dimension of this, which is the Creator is one, the Creator is absolute. He is continuous with no beginning and no end, and He is beyond all imagination. And all these point to nothingness, the absence of matter. And absolute is the key word, which is the zero level. So, some other time in Q&A or other classes, we will go into these verses and expand our understanding of them. I think we'll have a lot of fun with them. It's so enlightening. To me, these are some of the most powerful scriptures ever gifted to us as a humanity. So today we're exploring this scripture from the perspective of reaching zero level in meditation. Now, we're doing well for time. And this is why I said that please stay for the full meditation, because it's truly something well worth experiencing, learning, and seeking to continue from. So now with that powerful thought and that scriptures and those verses, let us perform the meditation of zero level. Now in this meditation, I will use the name, the origin, for our Creator. But you can use whatever name you prefer. So I will say, for example, the origin is continuous. But you can choose whatever name you believe your creator to be. So if I say the origin is continuous, and you believe that the name of your creator is Krishna, then you say Krishna is continuous, or God is continuous, or Allah is continuous. And if you want to go from a non-religious point of view and say nature, you'll say nature is continuous. You will say the universes are continuous. So choose your own word, but whenever I use the word origin, replace it with the word of your choice, and you will really enjoy engaging with each step of that meditation because it will be in accordance with your deep inner belief. So sit back, relax, close your eyes, and breathe freely. Breathe completely free. Be at complete peace. Keep breathing in complete freedom. Let go of all your worries, your tensions, your stresses. Breathe them all out and breathe in peace. Let yourself relax totally. Now I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting all alone in a cinema theater. You're sitting in a seat of your choice somewhere in the middle of the theater, and you're looking at this big screen before you, and it's all completely dark. The screen is dark, the cinema is dark. You are seated comfortably facing the screen. So take your time, relax into your seat in this cinema, breathe freely. At the moment, the screen is dark as well. Nothing is lit up. So get comfortable in the cinema. And as you relax, you keep repeating in your mind, stillness, stillness, stillness. You let yourself go completely still. Keep repeating the words, stillness, stillness, stillness. Take a few moments and repeat stillness. Stillness. You are completely still. And now you repeat silence, silence, silence. And let everything go completely silent in your mind, around you, everywhere. Pure stillness and silence. Keep repeating silence. lens. Psi lens. And now in front of you, on the screen, a line is drawn which becomes a circle, a ring. A golden ring is on the screen. It is drawn for you. It's a perfect circle covering the entire screen. It's a big circle. It's a golden ring that emits light, that emits peace. Take a moment and look at this golden ring that covers the full screen, giving off light, a very warm, loving light that comes from every part of that ring and flows to you. And as you look at this circle, you repeat, the origin is unity. The origin is unity. The origin is unity. And replace the word origin with the name of your choice. And keep repeating this for a few moments as you look at this golden ring that covers the full screen in this dark theater. All you see is this beautiful golden ring, which is pure unity. Keep repeating, the origin is unity. And now a smaller golden ring appears inside of this big circle. The smaller golden ring covers half the screen of the cinema. It is the same light that you saw in the outer circle. Peaceful, warm, loving light. But it now covers half the screen. And the larger circle disappears from the screen. And now you're looking at a golden circle, a golden ring of light covering half the screen before you. A circle is continuous. So you start repeating as you look at this smaller circle, this smaller ring. The origin is continuous. The origin is continuous. The origin is continuous. And you keep repeating these words, replace the word origin with the name you have chosen for your Creator. The origin is continuous. As you look at the golden circle, the golden ring that covers half the screen now, smaller than the one before. The origin is continuous. The origin is continuous. Keep repeating, continuous, 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 because that ring is continuous. It has no beginning and no end. That light in that ring is continuous. No beginning and no end. Keep repeating, continuous, continuous. And now inside of this ring appears a smaller ring. Same golden light, the same loving light, peaceful light. But this ring covers only a quarter of the screen. The larger ring disappears. And now you're looking at this beautiful golden ring that only covers a quarter of the screen. As you keep repeating, the origin is continuous. The origin is continuous. The origin is continuous. Replace the word origin with the name of your choice. The origin is continuous. 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 And now inside this circle, there's another circle, another ring that appears, which is very small. This is the fifth circle. It's so small that you can barely see through this ring. It has the same light, the same energy, the same power of all the rings. The larger ring disappears, and now on the screen you just see one small ring. It's a little larger than a dot, and you can barely see through this ring. But its light is reaching you, bringing you peace. As you repeat, the origin is continuous. The origin is continuous. The origin is continuous. Keep repeating these words. Replace origin with the name of your choice. It's a very small ring in the center of the screen, and you can barely see through this ring. The origin is continuous. The origin is continuous, continuous, continuous. And now inside of this fifth ring is an even smaller ring that appears, and the fifth ring disappears, but the sixth ring is so small you cannot see it. You see nothing now. Past the fifth ring is nothingness. You see absolutely nothing. And you repeat in your mind, nothingness, nothingness, nothingness. You see absolutely nothing. Keep repeating nothingness, nothingness, nothingness. You are in pure nothingness. There's nothing to be seen. Pure nothingness. And in this nothingness, you repeat the words, the origin is absolute. The origin is absolute. The origin is absolute. Replace the word origin with the name you have chosen. And in nothingness, you repeat, the origin is absolute. The origin is absolute, absolute, absolute. Now you repeat absolute zero, absolute zero, absolute zero. In pure nothingness, you repeat absolute zero. Absolute zero. You're now in nothingness at the zero level, at zero thought. Stay in this state for a few moments, in nothingness and zero thought. You are in pure nothingness at the zero level. Zero thought, where there are no thoughts, there is nothing, nothingness. You are in absolute nothingness at the zero level, at zero thought. This is where the third eye may open with the grace of the Creator. And you sit and you await in nothingness, at zero thought, for the gift of this eye to open. And now on the screen, that small ring appears again, the fifth ring, the one which is about the size of a dot. Same warm, loving light. You can barely see through this ring. As you look at this ring, small dot, you repeat, the Creator is oneness. The origin is oneness. The origin is oneness. Look at this small golden ring which you can barely see through. And keep repeating, the origin is oneness. And now another ring appears, covering a quarter of the screen. Golden ring giving off bright, warm, loving light. And you keep repeating, the origin is oneness. There are two rings before you now. The origin is oneness. The origin is oneness. And both these rings give off this beautiful, warm, loving light that fills your being with peace. The origin is oneness. And then the third ring appears outside of these two rings, which covers half the screen. And now you see three golden rings, one that covers half the screen, one that covers a quarter of the screen, and that little dot in the middle, all giving off this bright, warm, loving light as you repeat, the origin is oneness. The origin is oneness. The origin is oneness. And then the fourth ring appears, which covers half the screen. So before you there are four rings, that little dot in the middle, one that covers a quarter of the screen, one that covers half the screen. And then the final ring appears covering the whole screen. And you keep repeating, the origin is oneness. And so the screen is filled with 5 rings, the largest one covering the whole screen, the next one 3/4 of the screen, the next one half the screen, the next one 1/4 of the screen, and the 5th one, that little dot in the middle. They all emitting this bright, warm, loving light. And all the rings now fill up with light, and you see before you the whole screen covered by one circle of pure light. As you repeat, the origin is oneness. The origin is oneness. The origin is oneness. The whole screen is now covered with light. The origin is oneness. And you keep repeating now, oneness, oneness, oneness. As this circle of light which covers the screen grows beyond the screen, spreading everywhere throughout the earth, into the sky, into the universes. And you are at its center. You are in this bright, warm, loving light. You repeat, oneness, oneness, oneness. This is the light of love, the light of creation, the light of peace flowing through every element of your being. And it keeps expanding into the universes, back into nothingness, as you repeat, oneness, oneness, oneness. You are one with all creation. You're one with the Creator. You're one with nothingness. Oneness. 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 And as this light of oneness flows through you, you now repeat your linkage word. I will use origin. 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 And you repeat your linkage word, nice and slowly. Origin. Origin. Keep your repeating your linkage word for a few more moments. And in the presence of the light that flows through us all, we offer gratitude. Gratitude for the blessing of today's meditation. Gratitude for reaching the zero level of nothingness, where we seek to visit as often as we can. Gratitude for all the blessings we have received in our lives. Gratitude for our loved ones that make our lives fulfilled. Gratitude for all the abundance, happiness, love, and light in our lives. Gratitude for the blessing of life itself, of nature, the environment, clean air, clean water. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Keep repeating these words and let them flow from you into the hearts and minds and light of all creation. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. We have all been blessed with the experience of finding our way to nothingness, to the zero level, to making ourselves present where the third eye can open. We pray that we may be able to reach this level in all our meditations, each time we sit to seek the light. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. You may open your eyes when you're ready. Well, I'd like to thank you all for being present in today's meditation, bringing so much light, so much energy, so much love. And when we go forward, we should always seek to reach this level, the zero level in our meditation. And when you go into the zero level, whatever you seek, when you are blessed, will become evident. So when you stand out and look in the sky and see this whole universe and specks of stars around you, know that that is you. I remember when I meditated at the zero level, as a scientist, I wanted to experience the cosmos. And when I finally realized the cosmos, I realized that I was so much more vast than the cosmos itself. Saturn and its rings appeared small. Jupiter and its moons appeared small, because I, as a being of oneness, was far more vast than everything. So when you practice your meditation, go into nothingness. Reach the zero level by going down those 5 rings until they disappear. And emerge back again from there into an ever-growing set of circles of light that go back into nothingness. And you are right where you should be. If I were to pull the diagram of the vortex again, so now if you look at this vortex, but we went down these 5 circles, right into nothingness. 5 rings, right into nothingness. At the smallest of the smallest of the small. And we experience the zero level there. And then we came up the 5 rings. Now remember, the 5 rings, the number 5, is a very beautiful energy which brings purity into the spiritual dimension. 5. So we went down these 5 rings and went into nothingness. Then we came back up the 5 golden rings, which then expanded and became a continuous circle and went into the universes again, where here again it ends up in nothingness. So there's nothingness out here, nothingness out here. We led ourselves in meditation down and back up, and then when we were somewhere here, as this went out into nothingness, you started practicing oneness and you practiced your linkage meditation. So that gives you like an encapsulation of where we were. So this is the highest, deepest level of meditation we can reach by going into that nothingness. And after that, we are completely ready for that next blessed experience, which we don't control, but we sit with humility, we sit with patience, we sit with love, and no expectation, just openness for that blessing. And I pray that each one of you and all of us may be blessed with that realization, with that light, as we constantly pursue our journey towards oneness with our Creator, our journey of completion of our soul's 10 stages. So stay happy and blessed, and congratulations for at least journeying towards nothingness, towards the zero level today. That's a great accomplishment. It's a great start.